first topic is Kinect, which is, I think most of you already know. It's an add-on to the Xbox 360 game, so you can actually move in front of the screen and track your movement without a controller on your hand. So a better explanation can be done to a short video, maybe a few seconds.
This should be good. Let's begin.
Your tires are toast. Go to the pits.
All right, we're going in.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So basically from this video you can actually get a very good sense of what Kinect is. The basic structure of Kinect is something like that, a machine with a projector, which is an infrared projector for projecting infrared light, and two cameras. One is for color and one is for the infrared detection. The basic principle behind a Kinect is to detect your motion, but then this technology is very complex and is actually patent. So most of the explanation here are actually based on the speculations from the experts in this area. And there are a lot of different explanations, but then the basic two ideas are here, which means that the overall detection of motion consists of two steps. The first one, Kinect will photo your picture and then create a 3D depth map, which is something like that. Somewhere that is closer to you is darker, somewhere that's farther than is lighter. And then the second step is to move from the depth map to create something like a skeleton, where it detects your joint points, these dots, and see how these dots move to detect your real movements. So we'll talk about the first step first. The depth map is constructed out of 4 steps, but then these are a simplified process. So firstly, it will project a pattern, which is called speckle. It's something like that, some dots in front of it, in front of the machine. And then when an object is placed in front of those projectors, then the dot is projected on your body. Say if it's a hand, then something like that. And then the third step is that because your hand is an object which is not smooth, so those dots will change in shape. So the red dots will become something that is increased, and then there are directions, orientations, which changes. And then from those orientations, a 3D map will be constructed. But then this process is greatly simplified. We'll get more into details about this part, because there is a very basic principle in this part, which is called triangulation. Well, okay. The lights here, one thing to know is that this light is actually structured. It's not a simple line of light. Why? Because if you see from this very simplified example, a line of light projected onto some object and then reflect onto something else. If it's only a one line, then you cannot detect anything out of this line. But instead, if it's a pattern light, the reflected light should have a certain pattern which you can predict before you project this light. So when this object moves, actually this pattern will change. So you can compare the changed pattern with the original pattern, and then you will know how this object actually is positioned from your original expectation. And then out of this expectation, there's a very simplified example. If you see there is an object over there, and the light projects on this object, because there's a height over there. So this line will have a movement in between, so it's split in between parts. And then you can calculate this distance from the height and the alpha angle. So basically this is very simplified, but And actually, the ideas behind this step is very complex. And in order to make it more accurate, there are a lot of other additional processes involved in this process as well. And we just try to extract something that's very useful. And then the next step, I will talk more about it.
So now you understand why we have a depth map, but you have to, in the next step, we have to understand how can we determine which body does the depth map correspond to. So in Kinect, there's a great database of samples. So Microsoft will create a lot of samples using different body gesture and create corresponding body part with the depth map. And within Kinect, just trying to match the sample that is captured with the internal database so that it can tell, oh, this is the body, this is the head. And after knowing this is the body, they can actually assign a point here to try to make this at a joint position. And we have several joint positions here, then we can track the movement of this few joint position to know your movement across time. So we have a different gesture than Kinect can capture. So the detailed explanation is actually the body part detection. So how can Kinect tell this is the head but not your leg? So there's a decision tree employed in the process. So basically, it's trying to have a very complex algorithm, try to evaluate different information. Most of them are most likely are the relative depth distance. Say, at this picture and this picture, how much is their relative depth distance? Say this one is 1 meter away, this may be 1.5 meter away. So it's most likely to be some part of your body that can be moved out of your main body part. So most likely it would be a hand. So after asking several questions, they can know the probability of different body parts on this point and create a skeleton based on that. So actually, Kinect is a very good technology that you can already observe in the YouTube video. It's very accurate, but it's actually only repeating the step in 30 seconds at times. But this is already fast enough to detect your body motion. So Kinect is a very popular technology that has won a lot of awards from different magazines and news media. However, you may notice that Kinect may not be so popular in the general public. It is because of some marketing issues, some business decisions. It's relatively expensive, and the number of games that are available is not that much. So these kind of factors actually affect the popularity of Kinect. And the latest technology for the Kinect is actually allowing more people to take advantage of this technology. So they open a window or development environment to allow more developers to take advantage of Kinect to develop their own application. Say virtual fittings, you can try some clothes online with your Kinect and without really going to a real shop to try to guess how it looks like on you before you really buy the clothes. And some navigational aids for visually impaired person. So all in all, the development potential outside gaming is also very tremendous for Kinect. So there's also other potential applications, like in the Minority Report, a very famous movie, there's some gesture to control the computer, like when you can zoom in, zoom out using your fingers, pretty much like an iPad, but you really control it without placing your fingers on the glasses, but just do it in front of the camera. This kind of potential application are also very good because it allows you to control the computer or control robotics in a more easy way. And this is our conclusion. We think that Kinect is a very good technology, but it may not be so popular in gaming, but we think that outside gaming is a tremendous potential to improve our different application across the interaction between robotics and humans. Thank you.